Alright, what is going on guys? Matt Sniff Trophy Guys here, and today I'm be showing you exactly what you need to do to complete the Easter egg for the EisenDrachen. Basically, you need to upgrade a bow for every player that is in your game. So if you're doing it solo, then obviously one bow needs to be upgraded. 4 players, all 4 need a bow each. So if you want to know how to upgrade them, then in the link in the description will be the videos I put up showing exactly how to do each with ease. You do also need the Dragonrock DG4, which is a gravity spike weapons, also be in the link in the description if you need to know how to do that. Now you don't actually need the rocket shield, but I recommend building it. It helps tons throughout the Easter egg. So to get started, you basically want to upgrade one of your bows, and as soon as you do this, if you're trying to do it as quick as possible, as soon as you do this, you want to put it back and get your original bow back. Now you can only do this step after every player in your lobby has upgraded a bow. So get the original bow, go to the teleporter room, make sure you have at least 2 zombies, just in case one dies, you don't want to have to restart. So shoot the very top, there'll be 6 balls, light and blue, shoot each of them and they will turn orange. You should hear a sound or something sort of starting up. Sounds a little bit like a Miragua from Shadows of Evil. But basically, now around the map there'll be 7 possible locations for this to happen, but if you go there, something will be lighting up with electricity. Get your upgraded bow back straight away and head to the first location that is nearest to you. So you probably want to go up the stairs into the room with the computers. Now up on the clock will be one of the locations, and just over here by the radios will be another location. If it's not there, then come out, go up the stairs, and the clock to the left could be a 3rd location. The 4th could be a telephone in the power room. A 5th location is in Samantha's bedroom. You will see a globe that will be flashing. Now a 6th is the box in the room here next to the landing pad above double tap. And just outside double tap is the 7th location, the car tire wheel. The final one though is back at the spawn room. It's basically right opposite the quick revive, the telephone on the table over there. So pretty much what we want to do is there'll be a sequence of 4. You'll hear the startup sound. That means the first one will be lit up. So once you find it, shoot it with your bow. Now I should stress that you cannot shoot the bow anywhere near any of the items unless it is lit up, or it will cancel out the sequence. So be careful when you're doing it. Shoot the one that's lit up and wait a few seconds and you will hear the startup sound again, which means the second one will be lit. If you do this wrong, then you hear a sound where it'll power down sort of thing, and you'll have to restart again next round. So do all 4. Just basically run around the map, keep a few quarters again if you haven't, just in case you do kill them. This next step is pretty damn important. Once you've done all 4, go down to the teleporter. Every player in your lobby, you can do it solo, just in case you were wondering. All hold the interact button on the teleporter. You should go back in time. Now when you do this, there's 3 things you need to do. One is come over to your left, pick up this sort of blue sort of jar looking thing, go to the opposite side of the room, pick up 2 fuses on the box, and the 3rd one is to look at the combination that the doctor types in on the screen by the safe. I'd recommend taking a picture just in case you forget it. There'll be 3. Top to bottom is the order you want to remember. So now what you want to do in the same round, do not end the round. You'll end up by the rocket site. Be careful, make sure you don't shoot the zombies because a panzer will now spawn, and it does this every time you do the back in time sequence. So I'd honestly just teleport out back to the main map and just run them around, shoot them with a normal gun if possible, just so you don't hit the quarters with the outburst of the bow effect. But basically you want to come up to the death ray machine and place the fuse in the side here. Now go around to the other side and you will see a lever. Pull this lever, interact with it, and change it from destroy to protect. If this glitches out for you and the pictures aren't actually on the screen, just use the death ray. Make sure you don't kill the zombies, of course, and you should be fine. It's done it a few times in my lobby. I haven't used a death ray before. I've used it now, and then the next step is easily done. But you want to go up to this computer by the bell tower, and you have icons across all 4 screens. This is where you need the sequence that you saw on the safe earlier. So from top to bottom, type in your sequence by interacting with the screens, and you should now be able to go down to the safe and pick up 2 sort of cylinder looking things and a card. Bring these back up to the death ray machine. Place one over here on the pole looking thing and one on the opposite side in the other pole. Now go back to the death ray and turn the lever again from protect to destroy. Again, keep the crawlers alive if possible. It makes it so much easier. You're going to play Simon Says now. If you're doing this on solo, it's a lot easier than doing it with partners. So basically you're going to have a sequence of 4. Take a picture or write it down if possible, because you're going to need to interact with the screen as it comes up. It's basically a normal Simon Says game. Just type in the one that you see on screen in the correct location. So once you've done this, so it's about 7 or 8 goes, you should get a cheeky little ding sound to let you know you've done it correctly. And you're going to have to do it again, done by the rocket site. Exact same thing. In this clip I was actually surrounded by zombies doing it. It is possible to do it like this, but I'd recommend doing it with a crawler. Should mention that sometimes dogs do spawn here. In my game it didn't spawn till later on, but you do have an infinite spawn of dogs, 2 per person, so be very careful. If you're doing it with a team, get your teammates to protect you while you do it yourself. I'm pretty confident that you can do the steps at the same time as each other, so you don't actually have to all be doing the same step at the same time. But the next one is to go back up to the death ray machine, which will now have a green light on the back of it. If you hold this, you'll now have a cheeky little scene where you see a rocket burst through the atmosphere and will knock a tower over and land in the middle of the courtyard. Down here by the rocket you want to interact and pick up the golden rod, which you've seen before from previous zombies if you didn't recognize it. Now don't touch Dempsey because you will get electrocuted and you can probably die. I haven't tried it, but I guess then you do. Same time as this, you want to end the round now, and you have to do the sequence you did earlier for the 4 electric icons, because you will need to go back in time again. So end the round, do that exact same thing. Go back and look at locations if you need to and you've forgotten, and all players have to hold the interact button again on the teleporter just to remind you to get back in time. When you're here this time, you're going to come to the right and interact by this book. I'm not actually sure what you have to do over here. I think there's a lever that you press to open the box, but interact over here. You should see a little sound, and then come over to the door where you'd usually come in from, and there should be a stone slab you can now pick up. That's all you need to do this time around, so just dance around for a little bit till you get out. Again, you spawn in the rocket place with a panzer. Don't kill the zombies if you got crawlers, just run them around and shoot them with your normal gun again. So whoever it was that picked up the slab should now go over to the front gate and place it down on the wall. Now with the golden rod you want to go to where you get the bow. The guy in front of the guy actually is a little spot to put the golden rod in. A ghostly little gatekeeper will spawn. Follow him around to the location that he chooses. It will be random, so just follow him wherever he goes. There are 4 possible locations, and what you want to do when you get to these locations is there'll now be a circle. The more players standing in the circle, the bigger the radius for it will be. So of course, if you're with 4 players, try and get all 4 in at once. Now basically, when you're in the circle, there will be a specific bow you have to use. If you're on solo, it doesn't matter, you just have your one bow anyway. But if you're with 4 players, shoot your bow, and whoever kills a zombie that has souls flying out of it will be the one that has to kill the zombies in that radius to get the souls to charge up. It will take about a round and a half to get it fully charged. Then move on to the next location, and the bow will change if you're with more than 1 player, so just take that into account. Again, try the guy that shooting the zombie and the souls fly across to the gatekeeper. Make sure they're the ones getting the majority of the kills. Monkeys and things like that definitely help here. The main aim right now is to not die, mainly for solo players. This part, make sure you stay alive, so just keep spraying and spraying and spraying if you need to, because they will come at you pretty damn fast here. And this is where the dogs may spawn in, so just make sure you're spraying enough to not die. If you want to know where the 4 locations are, then outside the front gate will be 1, up in the mine shaft opposite Mule Kick could be the 2nd, 1 in the courtyard by the Wonder Fizz where the rocket landed, and the final one will be by the power room near all the knights. So there they are. Now once the final one has been completed, he will turn into a gatekeeper from Shadows of Evil, the red scary looking one. I want to follow him down to the pyramid room, and this is going to initiate a cutscene. So once the red lasers start coming around, you won't be able to die, don't worry, just sit there and listen for a little bit. Some pretty damn spooky bit of speech going on here, but once that has finished, you will be back where you were. So there may be zombies right behind you. I suggest just spray an arrow at the floor to make sure you get away, just in case you need to. Again, when you're ready, you want to make sure each player has fully charged gravity spikes before you do this, and you want to make sure you have good enough guns, good enough perks, monkeys, etc. to survive the boss fight. So that's what you're about to do, a cheeky little boss fight. Very quickly now though, you want to place down the tube you found earlier. There's 4 around the triangle, the one that's missing, just interact with it. And when you're ready, you want every player in your game to stand on each one of the panels. Keep 1 zombie again, stand on the panel, and all at the same time put your spikes down with the L2, and you will now be in the boss room. So tips for this, basically don't die. It is pretty much like the normal zombie round, except there's skeletons. So run around the room. It's a pretty small room, there's a little bit of room on the outside, so just stick to the outside if you can and run around. The first phase is going to be full of skeleton zombies running at you, so they're pretty easy to deal with. At the same time though, he will fire molten lava rocks that spurt up from the ground. Pretty easy to dodge, but can do a lot of damage if you run into them, so try and stay away from him. Red little circles on the floor will appear before he does it, so don't worry too much about it. Now the most important part here is one of the players in your lobby has to go and place the Ragnaroks down underneath him when he starts sort of building up this sphere of electricity, and it will happen after a few goes of the fire burst. So place it down and he will now start getting sucked into it, like you will see right now. His chest will open up and you just want to fire bullets into him. The bows of course are the most powerful, so probably best to use that. Every player wants to be doing this. More damage you can do, the better. Obviously make sure you don't get killed by the zombies as well. And he will make a little squealing noise again. Go pick your Ragnaroks back up and it will start again. So skeletons fire, then once a little ball of lightning appears, another player wants to place it down. Problem I had here was I was on solo, so it takes a while for your Ragnaroks to charge up again, and you can charge it by killing zombies if you didn't know already. So solo, it is pretty damn tough to do, but it is doable. Basically what you want to keep in mind is this little electric ball here you're about to see. It will kill you if you don't place the Ragnaroks down or hide behind the pillar like you're about to see on screen right now. Pretty freaking gay. but if you're not hiding or you don't have enough to suck him in with your Ragnaroks, then you will die. It's an instant death, so be aware of that. It just basically means it'll take a little bit longer because you need to recharge your Ragnaroks each time, whereas if you're doing it 4 people, each person will have a Ragnarok space down. So you should also get a spawn of 4 Panzers while you're doing this. For some reason mine didn't spawn any and hasn't done yet so far on solo, so I don't know why that is, but you might get a spawn of 4 Panzers. You have to kill them, and max ammo will spawn in the middle each time you kill a few, so don't worry, you won't lose too much ammo. Once you've done this 3 times, I do believe 3 works for every single person, you will kill him. He'll spin around, he'll get sucked into the floor and just die. You'll come back to the pyramid room. Once the pyramid is spawned back in, you want to pick up the little ball, which is actually the ritual thingy from Shadows of Evil, pretty beast, and take this up to the computer by the bell tower, stick it in, and you have pretty much just smashed out the Easter egg. So got a nice little cutscene here. If you haven't seen it before, then you may shed a tear. It is a pretty damn emotional time for each and every one of us zombie players. But that is all there is to the Easter egg. If you're really efficient, you could probably get this done by round 10. It takes about an hour, hour and a half, depends on how good you are as a team or solo, to get it done. But I hope this guide has helped you. If you feel like you want to leave a comment or a like or a sub, then that's completely up to you. Just letting you know, if you don't, you may be considered gay, so you know, it's up to you. If you want to be gay or like the video, but you know, future DLCs I will do as soon as I can. Been fairly busy before this one, so it's a little bit late, but nonetheless it is here. I am completely not queer, and I will see you very, very soon.
Teleportation successful.
Darling, I will be loving